sucks. Fucking hell, that hurts. Oh well. There's just no way. That was really weak. Just like had no control. I doubt it. Well, we'll see. I think I dropped too many ticks. Did I just tie him? Oh my god, I think we just tied. Yep. Unbelievable. Well, pound it, Jill. That's insane. I've been going at this for... I did one run of this before, just to feel out the other acts again. I am so surprised this actually made it to the end. Wow, absolutely crazy. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Phrase is so hard to learn after this. Yeah, oh my god. Really? little better, but my upticks overall are better, so I think this is pretty free. Still not very good though. Alright, 72, that's pretty solid. 16 over. Yeah, I mean, it is just so fucking hard to have a decent last act. Man, I choked all over the place going for this again. It's weird, when I first did this song, I thought that the third act was probably the hardest, but in retrospect, I think it's actually the easiest. But man, we've come a long way, haven't we? When I first did this song to beat Chris's record, at the end of last year, there's so many things that have changed. You know, the big one, obviously, like, I'm way better at using extended hit window now, like, way better, to the point where, basically, I was still learning it when I was first going for this, the 544, and now having hit squeezes like the Search and Destroy first act upper bound, like, when I mentioned that act being the hardest I've ever hit, I definitely had some reflection on this song, because prior to, you know, finishing up the game, back in February, just a little bit after Jill showed that this was possible and took the record, I managed to hit the first act, I think, 3 times total. It was bad, and I spent a lot of time just like after doing certain songs, like after finishing up a first place, I would come back to this and give it some attempts. And yeah, I probably hit that act 3 times over the course of at least 6 hours or so. And it was definitely, without a doubt, the hardest squeeze I had hit up to that point. I was honestly in like disbelief that I was even able to hit it. And I think 100% when I first went for this, just to beat Chris's score, there is no way in hell I would have got it, regardless of how long I spent in that like short, condensed time frame. I just did not have even close to the extended hit window ability to do so. So I don't regret going for the first place, I guess, is the takeaway. But yeah, this has been something I've had my eye on for a while. And again, after doing acts like Search and Destroy, first act, it really just got me thinking like what my experience would be coming back to this. And turns out not that bad. I've been at this for about an hour. You know, again, I got the tied first run within 10 to 15 minutes of coming back to this. But yeah, it took me a really long time to pull together another good run, because it's just that phenomenon when I got on that first run, and you know, I said it after I hit the first act, I was just like, there's just no way, like, this is happening this fast. And that, like, suspension of belief, I guess, kind of, it kind of keeps you calm in a way, because you, in the back of your mind, you're just thinking, like, this isn't gonna happen, so, like, whatever, doesn't matter. But the bigger point of interest is that you're more willing to push things a little harder in that state of mind, just because, again, you're just kind of in that, like, whatever, fuck it kind of mentality. Whereas, especially after you've choked to many runs past the first act, since I have in that time, yeah, you know, again, I've mentioned this in a few videos, it's just that negative reinforcement loop where, you know, you're the mouse trying to get the cheese on the electric plate or whatever. You just, when you miss like an early whammy, or you miss a front end, or whatever it is, miss a back end, I guess those are really the 3 things, but you just become internally like afraid of pushing those things. And, you know, I'm not Sun Tzu, this isn't the art of war, but fear can be your greatest enemy, and even something as stupid as this. So yeah, that's mostly just to say that, like, once I got past that first run and started like choking the second act and the fourth act a couple times, you know, it's just so easy to get in your own head. And that last act especially. I actually use a different extended hit window method this time. I'm much more comfortable using I mentioned this in a couple videos as well, using the anchor, the lower note, because of just the movement of your right hand strum to activate as like a left to right motion, and that's just, I think, to me, internally, it's just easier for your brain to process, oh, my left hand should also be doing left to right. I definitely can do the other way around perfectly fine in most circumstances. It's just, that's my preferred way. But that being said, I think my last act was only like a tick better this run. My ticks overall were just better. So I might not have had any dropped to that point, which is pretty impressive under that kind of pressure. That also was getting in my head, like, man, you don't need to push this that hard, but I would have never forgiven myself if I had a really shitty last act. I was going to look up the upper bound path again, just to check out I believe it's the fourth act that has a double squeeze on it that gets you to 318, but my internet's down, which is partially the reason I'm playing this game again right now. I have nothing else really to do. So I can't check that. I don't even know what the activation looks like, so it's really impossible for me to speculate one way or the other, but doing anything crazy after that first act, just... But, you know, I said this whole spiel the first time I did this song. Oh, that first act upper bound is just too hard. Nobody's gonna get that along with all the other squeezes. And a month and a half or whatever later, Jill shuts me the fuck up. So, no use really even speculating, other than to say that 318 may be possible. With that many whammies on an upper bound act, I just instinctively don't trust it. There are tons of upper bound acts with multiple whammies that are not even close to possible in this game because, again, as I've said in a few videos, I'm pretty sure the upper bound path calculates whammy on the first frame, which in most cases is not possible, and even if it was, going for multiple buffered first frame whammies is really like TAS only execution. So yeah, I guess that's about it here. I'm not sure if I'm going to private that old hour-long video that I was just talking about a bunch of loosely relevant stuff the first time. Been pretty embarrassed by that for a while, but obviously I'm not doing myself a ton of favors in that regard by continuing to yap. But yeah, this is something that I wanted to come back to for a while, so it feels, I don't know, it feels really kind of liberating now that I have the game completed to just do whatever I want. And I can come back to this stuff and not have to think about, well, I should really be working on the other song to get a score in and, you know, get closer to finishing the game. It's just all free will at this point, and that feels uniquely, at the very least, interesting. Man, Chris's score is almost off the screen.